Baltics are made up of 3 states, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Over the course of 4 days I'm visiting all of them to give you a taste of what's on offer. And first we landed in Estonia. Just 1.5 million people live in Estonia, but it's becoming one of the fastest growing tourist destinations in Europe. And that's because right now something magical is happening. Since breaking away from Russian occupation, Estonia is turning into a dynamic, optimistic and exciting country. Much of Estonia's old town dates back to the 14th to 16th centuries and is a maze of narrow cobbled streets. I visited the Baltics for the first time during the previous winter, which gives me opportunity to compare the seasons. Here, the lush green park during summer is also a hive of activity in the winter months, with children playing on slides and ice sculptures built from the heavy snowfalls. But back to summer, and I met up with Ivo, who was a driver and guide for Baltic holidays, who took me for a trip outside the capital. Headlights on, don't they?
Oh yeah. The
All day?
Yes, all 24 hours year round. Because of the climate, it's still pretty dark. Yeah.
But which was the hottest day this year? What was the hottest day this year?
There was plus 35 actually. So it's a new record, I think.
And then what's the main attraction for tourists, do you think, visitors?
I think the old town of Tallinn. That's definitely. This is something it's been hidden for a long time because of the isolation of Soviet Union. But now people are kind of discovering it once again.
Ivo took me to the Song Festival ground where a peaceful protest back in 1988 dubbed the Singing Revolution was a groundbreaking moment in Estonia, eventually regaining its independence.
This area is a song festival ground and was built for a big song festivals where let's say 20 to 30,000 people can sing and let's say up to 100,000 people can watch it. Michael Jackson, Iron Maiden, Metallica, I don't know, Depeche Mode. These kind of bands has been here. There was held some Olympic Games here in 1980. The Olympic torch was in the front of the sailing center this way.
People like Ivo are changing Estonia for the better. They have ambition and a passion for their country, which you'll certainly feel when you visit. That was the end of my brief visit to Estonia, because I've got a plane to catch to Latvia. Once we arrived in Latvia, we headed off to Riga, Latvia's exciting capital, dubbed the city that never sleeps. Well, I had to, and stayed overnight at the Grand Palace Hotel. The Grand Palace has 56 rooms that echo with Russian influence, and the breakfast choice on offer was impeccable. After a look around Latvia's capital, I met up with Phil from Baltic Holidays, who introduced me to some of his local staff.
This is Ivo, and he's our main man in Latvia, so our main man in Riga as well. Looks after all clients, picks them up from the airport, takes them to the hotels, takes them back again, makes sure they have a good time. And this is Maria, she's our chief guide in Riga. Maria, how do you find the people that we send you?
Well, they are wonderful. I really enjoy my time with them.
Yeah? And what are the sort of things they like in Riga? What do you show them? Is it more buildings, or is it more the sort of culture, the social side?
You know, this is everything. We walk around the old city, then we go to see the art and old districts in Riga. And they love to listen to all these funny stories and legends. You know, it's not just telling about some buildings. Then they like me to tell them about the life in Riga, in Latvia.
I think it's just amazing that almost on this spot, a few months ago, there was an ice rink and there's like 2 foot of snow and it's sort of -10. It's absolutely beautiful. And then in the summer you've got this place and you're just out in shirt sleeves and where you can be drinking to 12, 1 o'clock at night. You know,
it's a metamorphosis.
A metamorphosis.
Yeah.
So he's a cunning linguist, this man.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So Eva, how passionate would you say you are about Riga?
Well, very much so, because showing around Riga and Latvia is my only job, and I truly believe this is the biggest city in Baltic states. This is the true metropolis. We've got many nationalities living here. Every year more and more people are coming here. So if you walk around, you see the architecture, you see the people, you see the events taking place. It's something different from the Western Europe, which should be experienced, and I very much hope that some of you will come here and see it for yourself.
Where would you suggest people went to if they're actually looking to stay for a bit longer, not just see Riga?
Well, if we talk summer, then we would definitely suggest places like Jurmala, which is the seaside resort, which I call, and many other people call, the Riviera of the Baltics. If you go there, you see the sandy beaches, water temperature up to 24 degrees in the summer. So for 2-3 months in the summer, you are bound to have nice weather. The place, I would say, even has a Mediterranean touch to it. Hard to imagine that Latvia is so far north, but it's so warm for 2-3 months. Quite the opposite happens in the winter, and then I would probably suggest some other places like Sigulda, where you can do a little bit of skiing, you can do the bobsleigh rides.
Both of you guys have done a fantastic job for us, and all I can say is I will buy you a beer now whenever we can find a waitress.
So, taking Ivo's advice, it's off we went to Latvia's seaside resort of Jurmala. While it's warm in July, the beach was quite different when I visited back in February, but still just as picturesque, just a little cooler. There are several spas in Jurmala. One of the best is the Baltic Beach Resort. Here they have a pool and sauna, and apparently beating yourself with bushes is meant to be very good for the skin. And the massage and spa treatments are not just for the girls. Later, we went to Gutenberg's hotel restaurant on the rooftop terrace. Here you get amazing views of the old town as the nightlife comes alive. And the dancing isn't just outdoors, with many clubs, including the Fashion Cafe, worth visiting. And while it was a late night for us, we still had an early morning drive the next day to Lithuania. After the journey of a few hours, we were in the Lithuanian capital, Vilnius. I was taken with Phil from Baltic Holidays on a tour of Vilnius in an old army jeep, and we rattled past some of the landmarks. Outside the city, Phil explained parts of the town.
Well, here we have Vilnius Old Town. It's the largest old town in Eastern Europe. Lots of church spires. In the background you can see all the Soviet blocks, which I suppose are monstrosities, but quite interesting when you combine them with the beauty of the old town.
This is Belmontes, where we stopped for lunch, and I loved how this chap impressed his girlfriend by diving off the waterfall. What a brave man. Another amazing landmark out of the city is the fairy tale Trakai Castle. During winter you can actually walk across the lake to the entrance. It's a very romantic setting, which kind of answers for all the wedding parties. After Trakai, I was given the treat of travelling directly over Vilnius in a hot air balloon.
So we're launching here on Acropolis. Our wind direction is this way. And we are going to launch somewhere in Skaidiškės, in these fields. Okay?
This is something I'd never done before, and the views were spectacular. One image that was completely striking, which you can't see from the ground, is the incomplete stadium that was a project abandoned by the Russians when Lithuania became independent of Soviet rule. Also, what struck me from being up in the air as you looked down is how old Vilnius meets the new. Daring new buildings are appearing alongside old Lithuania. And I don't think there's any other country in Europe that would give you the chance to fly over the capital city in a hot air balloon. One unmissable attraction I didn't quite catch while in the sky was this, a pub on a bike. I needed Phil to explain.
This is a very eco-acceptable way of getting around the old town. No petrol needed, just pure beer power. This is what happens.
And the pub on the bike seemed to be the start of the Vilnius nightlife. There's a huge choice from traditional music venues to the new Prospecto Pub and Club. My fourth and last day in the Baltics was to be spent doing activities in Lithuania with Phil. First, we followed a stag group as they went shooting, all arranged by activities organiser Linus.
We just arrived in a single shooting range, an indoor shooting range, and we're going to fire some guns.
I had to shoot this gun at that target and I'm really scared. It should be good.
A man in a wedding dress with a gun. Never a pleasant sight.
Wearing it because it's my stag, and I got it from one of my best men, Tim. But they've got guns and everything, which is very good.
We're here on the lake, and we're gonna go on a hovercraft swarm tour.
This mud swamp tour is unique, but not the place you should be taking a TV camera. Put my camera in some risky situations, but this takes the... It's all done with the knowledge of the locals, which was a relief for me as I had to get back out of the swamp with the camera in one piece.
I saved my sandals.
Готов бегать посмотреть.
At least getting cleaned up was easy. So what did Linus have in store for us next?
Do you mind going up with no door so you get a better vision?
No door? I'm about to go up in the air on this plane with no door. The views over Trakai Castle, where I was yesterday, were yet another amazing memory. It's quite weird actually having no door and just the freedom of the air. It's just amazing. So what's Linus got planned as our final activity?
We're in Vilnius and Belmontes. We're gonna start a canoe trip and end up in Vilnius Old Town.
As you travel along the river, Linus follows in a safety kayak, and you get to see so many locals who all meet up along the river.
Enough of exercise today. I mean, give me 4x4s, give me hot air ballooning, I'll do that, but I'm not doing any more physical exercise.
So that's the Baltics. Vibrant, energetic, young, yet traditional, historical and unique.